the best high school rivalries in the state. Rogers versus Puyallup.
In my 20 years as head coach, it was always a war no matter who had a good record or who had a bad record. You could always count on a really competitive game.
Ron Iverson coached at Rogers for over 20 years. Now he has one grandson playing for the Vikings and one for the Rams.
I was just talking to my two grandsons earlier today, and I told them, just drink this in because it's the best. It's the best in competition.
The Rams and Vikings have been facing off for over 4 decades. And while the players, coaches, and student sections have all changed over the years, there has been one constant.
A legend at this school, unlike any other legend.
I can't think of anyone who is more encouraging and more supportive of our players.
Elaine Smith grew up in Centralia, Washington. Her family loved basketball. Her brother Craig won a state title with Detlef Shrimp in 1981.
We grew up hearing stories about basketball. I just think it's such a team game. It's fast-paced. It's fun to watch. So I've always loved it.
In 1983, Elaine was a student at Pacific Lutheran University. She came here to the Rogers High gym one night to watch some friends play basketball. It's a game that would change her life forever.
Colleen, who was the athletic director at the time, came up in the stands and said, "I hear you know something about basketball. My shot clock person didn't show up today. Could you do it?"
Elaine said yes, and she's never looked back.
For me, it was a way to come serve and get to know some kids and benefit the school.
Over the years, Elaine quickly built a reputation.
Our clock is always perfect at Rogers. I'm going to be brutally honest. She is the best.
You only notice those people when they make a mistake, and she doesn't make mistakes.
Officials and coaches are not the only ones that count on Elaine. She's built a bond with hundreds of student athletes.
She absolutely is like the definition of love. And so it's very rare. I've never walked into a gym and had anybody run up to the scorekeeper and give them a big hug. But you can't, that's what's going to happen in this gym. From alumni to family to grandparents, we all know and love Elaine.
I just think we're here to love people. And so, there's a smile on my face because my life is just rich with so many amazing people to love. I have my bad days just like anyone else does, right?
7 years ago, Elaine would have one of her worst days.
It still gets emotional. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in August of 2017.
After 34 years, she was forced to sit a season out. Elaine would lose her hair, but not her will to fight. 1 year later, she was back in the gym.
Just missed that one season of time in the midst of that 10-month or so battle, and very blessed to say I'm on year 7 of remission, and very grateful for that fight, and glad it's over.
Elaine has been working the clock for 41 years, over 1,000 games, and she has no plans of leaving her spot in the gym anytime soon.
It gives me joy, it gives me life. It is part of who I am. It's part of my life now. I can't imagine not doing it. I know the time will come when I'm not, but I can't imagine it.
At Rogers High, I'm Chris Egan.
I just love the kids all over. You watch that story and it reminds you of the teachers and the coaches and the bus drivers that they've been doing it for years.
Cafeteria workers and everybody.
Yes, yeah. And they know all the students and they always come back and say hi, and it's very cool. So nice stuff, Elaine. Good job out there.
Great.